تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. So this is the minimum. The minimum is Muslim. You fear Allah and do not die except as a Muslim. So this is Islam. As Muslims, we must ensure that we die in the state of Islam. That's the minimum. The high level is to be a mu'min. If you are a mu'min, mashallah, a real believer, a real mu'min means that you have real aqidah. Aqidah, what is aqidah? We are going to ask you about aqidah later on. Those or anyone who can answer will give you what is aqidah in Islam. What's the difference between aqidah and iman? When we say al-aqidatu fillah, what is the difference between al-aqidatu fillah and al-imanu billah? These two things are important, but they are the same actually. When we talk about iman, we talk about arkanul iman. Aqidatu fillah is part of that. Tawheed is part of that. So we have to know what it is all about. These are the things that we will learn from here. Real aqidah. Without real aqidah, then we will be in trouble. And that's why so many Muslims get lost, because they don't have real aqidah. And of course, we need the ihsan. Ihsan is the highest level. If you worship Allah, if you see Him, that is really great. Meaning that you will not be dishonest, you will have integrity because you know that Allah is seeing you. And if you say that I do this for Allah, that means that you know well in your heart that if you do something, you will be rewarded, like contributing to a group like this. Whatever you do, Allah will reward you. You must be sure. You must have right knowledge and certainty. You must be certain that Allah will reward you. Don't have any doubt, any atom of doubt that Allah will not reward you. Allah will reward you, inshallah. Maybe not here, maybe in the hereafter, or maybe here and in the day after. Yes, that is ihsan. And the worst thing that will happen to Muslims would be like pretenders, hypocrites. Those who pretend that they are Muslims, they pray only when people see them. They are so shy of being Muslim. When they are at the airport and it's prayer time, they can't afford to pray because they think that the Christians are above them. The non-Muslims are above them. This is the worst thing for Muslims to happen, that when they are with the non-Muslims, they hide their identity. Many Muslims in the world today, even if you say Assalamu alaikum, they don't reply to you because they don't want to show that they are Muslims. But Muslims, as we know well, are supposed to be the best. And this is the promise that Allah has given us. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linnas. You are the best of people evolved among mankind. Okay, because you enjoy the right, you forbid the wrong, and you believe in Allah. This is Islam. Yes, we don't want to be munafiqun. We don't want to be munafiq. We don't want to be mushrik. We don't want to commit shirk. We don't want all this. If we want to avoid nifaq, hypocrisy, if we want to really worship Allah alone, we must learn Islam first. We must have knowledge of Islam. Now, this is an interpretation of the hadith in the straight path. When the Prophet Muhammad SAW, this is the hadith. If you look at this, the hadith, the next page tells you, Abdullah bin Mas'ud narrated that once Allah's messenger drew a line for us and then said, that is the path shown by Allah. Then he drew several other lines on his right and on his left. And these are the paths on every side of which there is a devil calling towards it. So the Siratul Mustaqim in Islam is straight way. Anything left and right, no right way. The bias, the bid'ah, this is what we have to avoid. We have to learn what is bid'ah. And that's why we are here. We hope that this is just the starting point, and we will be working together to learn, apply Islam, and share it with others. Do dawah. So knowledge in Islam, it is the decisive. Knowledge of Islam has to be based on the Qur'an and the Sunnah. It's very important. What is decided is superfluous. Anything is extra. Meaning that while we want to be an engineer, while we want to be a medical doctor, and so on, we must always ensure that first and foremost, we have good knowledge of Islam. Because if you are a good medical doctor, you can do dawah in your own way. You can present Islam. If you are a good engineer, you can also do dawah in your own. If you do this thing, to just show to the people that you are the best. This is Riyah. This is a kind of share, hidden share. Now, why we need to learn dawah? Because even when we say La ilaha illallah, there are conditions for this La ilaha illallah to be accepted. And the conditions is that we must have knowledge about what it means. We must be certain about its meaning. We must be sincere. We must have ikhlas. We must have honesty. We must. This must have something to do with love of Allah. We must adhere and conduct everything based on what Allah has decreed. You must accept it, and you must obey Allah, and of course dissociate anything from anyone being worshipped other than Allah. And these are the conditions of La ilaha illallah. You have something like al-ilm, al-yaqeen, al-ikhlas, al-sidq, al-muhabba, al-inqiyad, al-qubul, wal-kufr bima ya'budu min dunillah. So these are the conditions of La ilaha illallah. For La ilaha illallah to be accepted, this is very challenging, brothers. I hope that you know this. We are going to ask you at least. You have to keep one of these. You will be asked after this. Now, knowledge in Islam, in continuation, the most superior of you are those who learn the Qur'an and teach it to others. So here, part of our programs will be to teach the Qur'an, inshallah. To teach the Qur'an. And those of you who are good in teaching Qur'an, let us know so that we can learn from you. A believer is never satiated with Islamic knowledge. This is according to Hadith, as paraphrased. He goes acquiring it till his death and entry to paradise. Learning Islam is to really learn it from the cradle to the grave. That's very important. If Allah wants to do good to a person, He makes him understand the deen, and of course knowledge is attained by learning. You cannot have knowledge without learning, without coming here. And we really thank you for coming, and we hope that with your presence we will be able to grow stronger and be able to reach out to everyone who needs Islam, and I think everybody needs Islam. And that's why we call it Al-Hikmah Global, because Al-Hikmah Global is global in character, meaning it is not confined to Davao City, not confined to Mindanao, but we will reach out across national borders, across national boundaries, meaning we will go international, inshallah. We are very ambitious, but it's Allah who will help. That's why we always say inshallah, because if Allah wills, everything will be fine for us. Like this, we never expected that with nothing we can start with this, and we would like to share with you the news, good news, that our donors from Saudi Arabia are very happy. Within a month, we have managed to organize this center, and we hope that inshallah this will be a good starting point. Yes, talking about an Islamic worker, someone doing da'wah. These are some of the qualifications that we need to develop. First, like I said, one is that we have to be knowledgeable, and knowledge of Islam has to be based on the Qur'an and the Sunnah. We must have a great desire for seeking knowledge. Like your coming here is an indication that you are interested to learn Islam. That is very, very important. That's a good indication that you have the desire to learn Islam. We have to use wisdom in da'wah for those who are doing da'wah. We have to be kind and soft when doing da'wah. We have to make it very clear from the beginning that we don't go for comparative religion. We don't go for confrontation. We want to present Islam as it is. We don't want to insult non-Muslims. We don't want to go for debate, by the way. We want to make it very clear in the beginning that our du'at, I hope that they are clear with this idea that we don't go for comparative religion. We don't say the Bible is wrong. We say that because according to John 1:1, we don't want this kind of presenting Islam. We present Islam according to the Quran and the Sunnah. The Sunnah is not to to say that the Bible is this and that. In fact, there is a hadith that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, other than the fact that one time Omar was opening some parts of the Torah, the Prophet ﷺ was very upset, and Omar, when he found, he had to say, "Raditu billahi rabba, wa bil islami dina, wa bi Muhammadin." Yes. So the Nabi wa Rasulah. The point is because the Prophet told Omar, "Do you know that if Prophet Moses was here right now, he would have followed me?" In other words, the Qur'an is superior to the Torah. The Qur'an is the final book or final revelation. And that we have considered as the basis of our presentation to others. Let's not use the Bible. Let's not use any other thing like any other scriptures, because the Quran is sufficient for us. The Hadith is sufficient for us, inshallah. Both are the sources that we have to use when we present Islam. We have to have patience, and this is really the essence of the Islamic way of life. We have to be patient. Coming here, we know that you spend your time, you spend your money, you are away from your families, and we know that with patience, Allah will help us. Inna Allah ma'as sabirin. Allah will be with those who are patient. Doing dawah is very challenging. We have to be patient because sometimes people will insult us. If people insult you, don't be upset. Don't be disappointed. You continue what you are doing. The most important thing is for us, وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينُ, that you present the message, you convey the message. Inshallah, the one who controls is Allah, not us. Whatever is the result, is Allah who will enlighten people. We have to be just, we have to be humble, we have to practice humility. Sometimes people really, you find they don't know anything about Islam, and let's not insult them. Let's not say, "Hey, you have been a Muslim ever since and you don't know Shahada." We don't do that. We have to know what is really the most important thing to do. We have to prioritize. A good Islamic worker, they say, doesn't take names. Like, for example, somebody, especially in public, somebody has committed some problem. Then, in the case of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he will really say, "Oh, people." He doesn't say that this Hisham has done something wrong and this is not good. He doesn't do that. Generalizing when it comes to especially mistakes and problems. Lively admonition, of course, you have to be lively. Trust in Allah, this is very important. Spending great energy and strength in dawah. Relating to Allah alone, meaning always doing dua, supplications. You have to learn how to supplicate to Allah. And focus on rectifying matters of Aqidah. Aqidah, as I said, is very, very important for us all to learn. Now, when we start our program, inshallah, we will have the Aqidah series. Aqidah is not just, I said, Al-Aqidah to Billah. It's not all about only the belief in Allah, but this is really the backbone of the whole thing. If we know our belief in Allah, if your iman is strong, and if you know exactly the fundamentals, then inshallah you will be able to know the other things, like the belief in the angels. The world of the angels, we have to know what is it all about. Where are they? Where is the world of the angels? The world of the jinns and devils. Some people are very scared of the devil. Where are they? By the way, these are all part of Aqidah. The messengers and the messages, Ar-Rusul wa Risala, and the minor resurrection. What is minor resurrection, by the way? Anybody who knows minor resurrection? Al-Qiyamah, As-Sughra. What is that? The death itself. The death itself. The day of resurrection, Al-Qiyamah, Al-Qiyamatul Kubra. Okay? That is when the last day happen, and when we are about to be judged. That is, you have to know what is, for example, Barzakh. These are some concepts that we have to know, and these are parts of Aqidah.